So Voopoo have put out a release today through Twitter regarding the issues with Tony B and Vandy Vape and the Pulse 80. I'm a concerned outsider here. I'm a fan of the Pulse. I'm running a Pulse, and I've been looking forward to the Pulse 80 coming out for some time now. So let's have a look at what they put out, and we'll go through the information that's in there and see how that's actually playing and what they're saying and what this could mean. Okay, so here we have it. This is the press release from Voopoo. So they're saying, in light of the recent events and personal attacks on the company, then they're saying they had no long-term contract with the alleged accuser. Now, the alleged accuser from context would be Tony B, especially the next bit where they're saying the accuser's video. So Tony put out his video yesterday, so that's what they're talking about there. Secondly, they're saying that the accuser's brand, so that would be Vandy Vape, has yet to receive an official license. So they're saying there was no deal at all regarding the gene chips. So that's very unusual, considering that the Pulse 80 was advertised right from the start as having a gene chip. So surely if there was no deal in place, Voopoo should have been getting on that earlier on. The next bit is quite contradictory as well. They do say that the brand is yet to receive an official license that would allow them to use the gene chip, but they're then talking about price changes, and they made every effort to cooperate with minor price adjustment, not the same as what they were saying. But then if they haven't made an official license agreement, why would there be a price change? They're contradicting themselves. If there was a price change, there had to have been some sort of contract in place to discuss that. The next bit they're talking about is that they always adhere to the vape industry as embracing positive attitude. And then we've got some images at the bottom here. So the images are actually quite interesting in what they're trying to do with them. So if we take a closer look at the image here, so we've got the Voopoo Drag on the left, release date March 2017, and we've got the Pulse 80 mock pre-release ones on the right. It says launched January 8, 2018, which is obviously wrong. And it looks like they're trying to claim the design on all of these resin patterns now. So they're trying to say that the Pulse has copied the resin design. So if we take a look on the image from the right, once again, they've got the Pulse there, and they've got a Voopoo Drag, and they're trying to show that the resin design has been copied. Lastly, they're saying that they've got a great standing with the brand, that would be Vandy Vape, and they want to carry that on, and the accusations are false. They're also saying that this would be a basis for legal action. So what have we learned from this? Well, first thing is that they're saying there was no agreement between themselves, Tony B and Vandy Vape. Now, if there was no agreement going on there, why was this announced with a gene chip? It shouldn't have been announced with a gene chip if there was no agreement. Now, I'm not putting this on Vandy Vape saying you put it out there saying that there was a gene chip in it when you shouldn't have, but had they done that, had they put this out without an agreement in place, then why did Voopoo not get involved at that point? This has been all over the place. It's been a very popular device, a lot of people interested in it. It's been all over the internet, all over YouTube, people looking at this device. And if Voopoo had their eyes open and been aware of it, they would have been getting questions from people about this. So if there was no agreement, why is it taking this long for them to say there was no agreement, you shouldn't be saying that? So that just doesn't make sense to me, that they're saying there's no agreement. There had to have been for Vandy Vape and Tony B to be saying that there was a gene chip in it. So the second point there is talking about an agreement that doesn't exist. So you've got an agreement between Vandy Vape and Voopoo for the gene chip that they're saying doesn't exist, but then they're talking about cooperating with them and an increase in the price, which they've said was $0.65. So that's 65 cents, shall we say. Now, Tony B in his video said that the initial order was for $40,000. So $40,065 is $26,000. So that's not a small amount of money. And that's definitely an increase in the amount that they wanted paid. So that kind of verifies that there was an increase. But no, we can't say how much of an increase, as we don't know what the initial cost is. We would need to know that to know the percentage on it. All of us can do maths. We can sort that bit out easy. But they're not verifying that information. And if there were not, but it stems back, if there was not an agreement, why are they talking about a price increase? There's no reason for them to discuss a price increase if there's not already an initial price, which means there's an initial agreement. So there's something in place already for them to increase the price. So that just doesn't make clear sense at all. It could be that there was an initial quote and they've gone back for a new quote and it's gone up. But once again, that stems back to the first point. If there was no agreement, then why are they discussing prices? It doesn't make sense. It's not very clear. So the last bit there is basically saying legally we're protecting ourselves for legislation. We might take this further. I'm not going to touch that. I've got nothing to do with me. That would be between Voopoo, Tony B, and Vandy Vape to deal with. So if they want to take that further, any of those parties, that's up to them. We don't have to know about that. That's between them. The things that we would be looking for as consumers from the next step of this, because I don't think this is over, there will be more, is from Voopoo. We'd want to get more clarity on what they're saying. Was there a deal? Was there not a deal? Why are you discussing things if there isn't a deal? And what do those images mean? Are you implying that the resin design is yours and they've copied it? Or are you not? Do you own copyright on resin designs? If so, which ones? All that sort of thing we would need to hear from Voopoo. From Tony B and Vandy Vape, we would want to know more about that agreement. Did the agreement exist? Are we able to see that agreement or some of these correspondences that were mentioned? Would we be able to see that as the evidence? It's the public court. It's in the public sphere now, so we have a vested interest in this. Personally, I have a vested interest because I want the device. That's pretty much my interest in the whole thing, is that I'd like to get hold of one of these Pulse 80s. I've got the Pulse here. I love the Pulse. It's one of my favorite devices. It's one of my go-to devices, and it's what I've been vaping on all evening. So this is what I'm using. So that's where my interest is purely in that. But I have a camera, I have a channel, and I talk about vape stuff. So I jumped on here to give my 2 cents worth, for what that's worth to anyone. If you disagree with me, if you agree with me, if you want to discuss it further with me, comment below. Just feel free, drop me a comment, or hit me up on Twitter. That's at 1purplemongoose. That's at the number 1 purple mongoose. I've retweeted the press release from Voopoo on my Twitter stream, so that is up there if you want to go look at it fresh. That is there. Feel free to have a look at it. I've purely put it there just so it's available to anyone who's not seen it. I've just done that. All the usual stuff that you get at the end of every video. So thumbs up, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. I don't just do things like this. I do a daily vlog. I do vape reviews. I do vape previews. I do vape questions, and I do bits of vape news like this. Anything else in the comments below. Okay, that's going to be it for this. Feel free to watch any of my other videos. Links are going to follow. And for now, vape on.